What would happen if all the women wanted to marry you? This man is being chased by countless wives. It looks like a whole town of single women is coming. They are running frantically. The grooms are chasing him frantically. He is running in the another direction, but he is joined by another large group of newlyweds. Soon the traffic jams and police cars can no longer stop the women's enthusiasm. What makes all these women want to marry him? Jim is single. His parents died when he was a child and he was lucky enough to be raised by his grandfather, which gave him an uninhibited personality. He changes boyfriends as often as he changes clothes, and when the time comes he always finds a reason to separate. This time was no exception. He broke up and fell in love with Anna. Both fell in love and their relationship quickly intensified. That day they came to attend a wedding, and a problem quickly arose. In fact, the custom of the city dictates that when each couple gets married, the groom throws a bouquet by hand to the young single girl on the spot, and the one who receives the flower must get married and transmit happiness. And men are sweating with nervousness because it is not happiness for men, it is slavery. Soon it is the man next to Jean who wins the prize. That day a new marriage took place, which led to a new draw. Anna wins the flowers by a large margin, which is Fred. Jim, he crawls home. His grandfather reassures him by telling him that he is almost 30 years old and that he cannot continue playing with the women. He tells her that he wants to have grandchildren and even prepares a ring for Jim to propose to him. Jim had to give in and take Anna to the restaurant to propose to her in the evening, but Jim was so nervous that he was unable to say a single word from where and Anna rejected her. The news of the failure of Jim's marriage proposal quickly spread, which caused her grandfather to say goodbye. During the funeral a lawyer approached of Jim. It turned out that the grandfather was a hidden billionaire who left Jim an inheritance of 10 billion. All the single women are heading to the church in wedding dresses, all because of this man. He was delighted to learn that he was going to inherit 10 billion. His grandfather was an insurance tycoon, but at an advanced age he hid and settled in a small town. The grandfather did not have children, and Jim was his only heir. But to inherit the heritage, he must fulfill two of his grandfather's wishes. One of them was to get married before turning 30 and the other to have a child within 2 years. If one of these wishes is not granted, the money will be given. After hearing the news, Jim was a little desperate. In fact, his 30th birthday was only 2 days away, and he had just had an argument with his girlfriend, so he got dressed in a hurry and went to find his girlfriend Anna. But it's her best friend who opens the door for him. She tells Jim that Anna is sad and ready to leave trip because of his insincere marriage proposal, and she has just left. Jim rushes to catch up with her. He rushes to the airport, catches up with Anna, and kneels to make a sincere confession. Anna asks him if he is sincere, but Jim suddenly thinks of the horse scene. He hesitates Anna out of sadness and says that she wants to break up with him. Watching App leave, Jim's heart is full of helplessness, but faced with the temptation of $10 billion, how could he give up his current girlfriend? Not working out, his friends gave him the idea to look for one of his old girlfriends. The first was a stockbroker. Jim covered his mouth, but the woman reached out to him with a diamond ring and gave him a friendly gesture. The second is a theater actress, but this woman had so many past boyfriends that she no longer remembered who Jim was. He found a third, a saleswoman in a shopping center. Jim said what he wanted, and his ex-boyfriend immediately agreed. That's when Jim saw Anna's silhouette. He chased her but realized he had her confused with someone else. When he returns, he finds that his ex-girlfriend is so excited that she even set the mannequin on fire. Such a gesture is Fred. Jim, he had a busy day and couldn't find only one woman to marry. Disappointed, Jim lay down in the church and fell asleep. That's when his fat friend had a brilliant idea. A single billionaire man was looking for someone to marry him, and the news spread quickly. It was the big idea. Jim's personal details were published in the newspaper. The town went up in arms over the news. The women who repaired cars put down their keys. The women who had arranged dates were disinterested in the men in front of them, and even the married women took out their wedding dresses in no time. The tricks were filled with women in wedding dresses. They only had one idea in mind: to run to the church. The man wakes up and finds a church full of women in wedding dresses. When they learn that Jim is a rich man, all the women in town dress in wedding dresses and compete to marry him. Fat rushes in and says that the news is false, that it is a prank. But the newlyweds are not happy and ask to get married today. Scared, Jim runs out and shoots Big to beat him. At that moment, Big tells him that Anna still can't let go of him and that she is about to come back. Jim immediately goes looking for Anna, but an army of newlyweds surrounds him and he runs away, but there are too many brides and grooms there. Ran away and they chased him. He rushed to stop a taxi. After seeing Anna, Jim asked him to marry him again, but this time Anna refused again because she had seen the ad for Jim's marriage. Anna was very sad to know that Jim had only married her to get his inheritance. However, Jim, who had gone through many battles, quickly Anna with sweet words. Anna finally said yes to his marriage proposal. In order to make up for it, at the last minute Anna put on her wedding dress in the toilet, but she was shocked when she came out. The bride and groom found Jim and around Jim ran desperately and had no choice but to climb the ladder. He looked down into the white space and didn't find Anna at all. Luckily, with the help of his friends, he was Able to find Anna, the priest hurried to read their wedding vows in the car. The ceremony being over, the bride and groom gave up, but they were a little unhappy. Jim apologized sincerely and declared that he and Anna really loved each other. Everyone who learned the truth